right, so what I've got for you today is the Tascam DR-40 versus the Zoom H4n. The Zoom H4n has been a very popular choice for DSLR filmmakers for quite some time. This thing is very feature-packed, runs about $300, and it's the Swiss Army knife of low-budget audio work. On the other hand, the Tascam DR-40, which was released towards the end of last year, runs about $150. The $150 gets you the basic field recorder unit, and now with the recent firmware update gives you independent control of the audio inputs, making it a little bit closer to the usability of the Zoom H4n. So let's listen to the audio from both of these units, compare the features, and see which one's right for your budget. The Tascam DR-40 is basically made out of plastic. The case is all plastic and everything is plasticky except for these metal bits right here on the top. You'll also notice that the case kind of bulges out a little bit. The bulge is because this unit uses 3 batteries instead of the 2 batteries that the Zoom H4n uses. That's not that big a deal, and it actually gives you a little bit longer battery life if that's something that you need. On the other hand, it doesn't have much for grip, so you have a little bit of roughened plastic here and roughened plastic here. Otherwise, that's about it. The Zoom H4n has a very similar layout to the Tascam DR-40, and the DR-40 came after the Zoom H4n, so it's not surprising that they decided to copy a lot of the Zoom's shape and style. The Zoom is thinner. It has a metal case with a coating on it that gives it kind of a sticky, grippy feel to it. The only plastic parts you have to worry about are the battery cover on the back of the unit. Otherwise, the Tascam DR-40 and the Zoom H4n in the shape department are pretty similar. The Tascam DR-40 is a pretty basic field recorder. It's got built-in microphones that have an XY pattern, meaning you can flip these out like so and flip them back in again. It's got 2 combo jacks that allow either an XLR or 1/4 inch input from an outside source. It has a 4-channel mode that allows you to record audio from the built-in microphones and 2 external sources simultaneously, and it has a dual mode. The dual mode allows you to record audio into 1 channel, but record it at 2 different volume levels, which gives you a little bit of protection, and it also means you don't have to use a Y cable if you need to perform that particular function. Otherwise, this is a pretty plain Jane field recorder. It records audio. That's about it. The Zoom H4n isn't just a basic field recorder. It has all the same features that the Tascam DR-40 has, but it also offers up the ability to be a multi-track recorder. That means if you're a musician, you can record a single track, then record another track over the top of that, and pretty soon you've recorded an entire song on the Zoom H4n. It also has a lot of built-in effects and preamps for guitars and bass if you need that stuff. It also has an input on the back that allows you to record a stereo channel input along with the regular inputs on the bottom of the unit at the same time. You're not just limited to the microphones and the inputs. That's a pretty handy feature as well. It also offers up the ability to be used as a USB audio interface for your computer. So if you need to plug in, say, a microphone for a Skype call or something like that, you can use this and the headphone output, and you can use this as your basic sound card for your computer. All right, for this test, I have my Audio Technica AT4073 plugged into a Y splitter. The Y splitter is then plugged into the Tascam DR-40 and the Zoom H4n. I'm going to switch between the audio from the Tascam to the Zoom so you can get an idea of the input quality of the audio on their XLR inputs. Both units are set at 80 right now, and I am sitting about 4 feet away from my Audio Technica microphone. All right, for this test, I have the Tascam DR-40 on the right, I have the Zoom H4n on the left, I have the Tascam DR-40 set with its microphones facing out in A/B mode, and I have the Zoom H4n set up in 120-degree mode, which is the microphones twisted all the way out. With these tests, I'm going to switch between the audio from the Tascam to the Zoom so you can hear the difference in audio quality with this particular mic pattern. I have both of the audio inputs set to 100% so that it's fair and it's something easy to reference. I'm also sitting about the same distance away at about 3.5 feet. All right, for this test, I'm about 3.5 feet away from both of these field recorders. I have the Tascam DR-40 on my right-hand side, the Zoom H4n on my left-hand side. I'm going to switch between the audio from the Zoom to the Tascam and back again so you can hear the difference between the built-in microphones in their 90-degree pattern mode. I have both of the mics set to maximum volume input so that you can compare the two at something that's fairly easy to reference. and see if the audio sounds better between the Tascam and the Zoom H4n. After taking the time to compare the audio from the Tascam DR-40 and the Zoom H4n, the audio did sound a little bit different from the Zoom to the Tascam, but it wasn't enough that I would complain about the audio from either one of these units. Both of them performed quite well on both the internal mics and the external inputs. They did a great job of capturing audio, and the audio that was recorded by each of them sounded very good. I don't think the audio is going to be the deciding factor if you're looking at the Tascam or the Zoom. The main thing to think about if you're looking at these units is, do you need all the features and the hard metal case of the Zoom H4n? Or do you just need a field recorder that's less expensive? The Tascam DR-40 does a great job of recording audio, and that's about really all it does, is record audio. The Zoom H4n is a pocket knife full of all kinds of random stuff that you may or may not need out in the field. So if you don't need all those extra features and the better build, then you'll probably be just as happy with the Tascam DR-40 at about $150. That saves you some money to spend on something else. I'll have information on all the items I've used in this video, along with links in the crotch bar below. You can also swing over to DSLRFilmNoob.com for a full written review. As always, thanks for watching. And if you like this content, please subscribe.